Okay guys, presentation for Giorgio Armani. This was brought to us in 1982. It's a Chypre floral fragrance. Top notes are going to be aldehydes, pineapple, mint, galbanum, marigold, and bergamot. Middle notes are sicilium, tuberose, orchid, orris root, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, and narcissus. Base notes are sandalwood, tonka bean, amber, musk, benzoin, oak moss, and cedar. Again, like I said, this one came out in 1982. Presentation. This is the bottle, the 1.7 ounce. As you can see, great little bottle here. Look for the batch code number 2 sometimes, so you can see on checkcosmetic.com to see what year it is from. Here's your sprayer, which kind of a poor sprayer, believe it or not. So sometimes I wanted to get the splash as well. This is your splash bottle. I want to leave it sealed just to kind of keep around. But also there's batch number underneath there, as if you can see it, and nice box and everything. But like I said, the splash bottle, you never have to worry about the sprayer going bad or anything. I've heard sometimes these sprayers can be a little poor. This one's been fine for me so far, but I've had this about 2 weeks now, and look at the juice level. I've been wearing it almost every day, really enjoying it. So, but there's the presentation for Armani. Now there is a Perfume version, I guess, but this is just like, I think the blends are almost identical and everything's the same. This EDT is awesome. I mean, it'll last you a long time, so don't even worry about trying to get the Perfume version, which is more expensive, because this stuff is great. I paid about $40 to $41 on eBay for this guy right here, 1.7, so you can still get it. And the prices are fairly good on it too, so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. It's been discontinued, I believe, since like 1996, or in the mid 90s. I believe they discontinued this stuff. So if you can get your hands on this bottle, this is the good stuff. So, but there's a presentation for Armani Classic 1982. Hey fragrance community, Rise Frags 34 here again. Thank you so much again for joining me for another review. This one, hopefully to all you frag heads who've been in this game for a long time, I'm talking 20, 25, 30 years, can appreciate this one, and hopefully I'm doing it justice. This one is the Classic Armani. Came out in 1982, as you heard in the presentation. This is obviously a big stepping stone for Giorgio Armani, because this was his first creation. He was #1 designer in the world by Forbes magazine for a good while. So obviously he's no stranger to us. We know Giorgio Armani, of course. I wanted to also shout out to Adele. She's a fragrance. She's been collecting and smelling great since she was 5 years old. So she's been, and she's loved this one for a long time too. She's been a good friend on Facebook, and she's taught me so much just in the last week we've been talking. So, and she brought this one to my attention. It's it's so great about our fragrance community is you don't know anything about a fragrance until someone says, hey, have you ever tried this? It's kind of a classic. And I've seen the bottle before, and I could swear that someone in my family has worn it. When I was real young, I could smell this on someone in my family. It brings back so many. I know it's a familiar scent, but I never knew what it was back then because I really wasn't into fragrance. So, but this one's just a great fragrance. This is an 80s. Kind of before its time. You know what I mean? It's just so well done with this one. But back to Adele. I wanted to shout out to you. Thank you so much for giving me some ideas on some these great perfumes that are geared towards women, but definitely in our world now, fragrance with a lot of niche going on and things like that. It's definitely unisex. But getting into this one, like I said with the notes, it's a oak moss and galbanum balm. Galbanum is very green. It's like very kind of earthy, and yet it's like rooty. You can smell kind of like. It's like kind of, just getting a piece of grass right out of the ground. It's very green and grassy and earthy, kind of gummy as well. But one nice thing with this one is it starts off with that, and you get that strong oak moss. I'm not going to say that oak moss is kind of throughout the fragrance, but there's this little bit of hint of like mint that kind of gives it this it's warm, but it's cooling at the same time. Because there's some benzoin, there's the amber. There's some nice notes in the dry down, but throughout I kind of get this. It's like cooling, like kind of like a minty, green, earthy kind of smell. And don't smell this for the first 30 seconds and wash it off, because this thing dries down into something really, really special. And I've said that with Feu Vert from Creed. That's another kind of older vibe, 80s kind of thing going on. But the dry downs are beautiful. This is very floral, but in a good floral way. It's a masculine floral, if that makes any sense. When you look at the notes, it's like, wow, this is definitely geared toward women. It's floral, but it's not. There's so much going on, and the breakdown is so nice. It's got some aldehydes in it to keep it a little clean, and just an all-around great blend. Who would have thought in 1982 they, well, I'm sure, Guerlain, there's, they've been doing this for years and years and years, but this is just an awesome piece of kind of history about Giorgio Armani and the whole, getting into the whole fragrance, game. So, but this is another one that's just that kind of 80s powerhouse fragrance. I adore it now. The first couple of days I wore it, it's kind of like, I don't know, but you start to get that, wow, this is awesome. You get a couple compliments from people at work. Nobody's wearing this, you know what I mean? So, a lot of and I'm not saying anything bad about the new designers. They're awesome, Sauvage, there's a lot of good ones that are coming out, and there's nothing wrong with quality of them. I'm not saying this has better quality, but for what this is, this is a beautiful, great fragrance. I believe it was discontinued in 1996, or in that range. I'm not sure too much about discontinuation, but I know this bottle and everything has been discontinued, but it's still very easy to get. I paid, the 1.7 ounce, which is right here. This is the spray. They also come in the regular, just the regular bottle. But this, I paid $40 on eBay, and always look for, like I said in the presentation, always look for that that batch code on there. Not that it really matters, but this bottle's from 1988, and then my closed up sealed one that I want to try and save for a little while, that's from 1988. So I'm sorry, 87. So great fragrance. Again, I've had a lot of questions about people, shelf life and if fragrance will last long. If they're stored right, absolutely. This thing rocks. I mean, this thing lasts me, 10 plus hours. Sometimes it'll keep going, 13, 14 hours. And again, it's colder outside, it's in the 30s and 40s. So I'm sure this would really shine, in the summertime. It might be a little too heavy for summer. So I wouldn't probably wear it towards summer, but spring, fall, and winter, definitely, it's a great fragrance for that. And I hate to keep rambling, but just a great fragrance. I really can't compare it to anything. I'm sure the veterans and the frag heads who've been in this for a long time, you could probably compare this to a couple either vintage fragrances or fragrances out today that will remind you of it. But a lot of people that I know have never even smelled this before, so I just wanted to kind of bring it to your attention. If you're kind of wanting to get some discontinued stuff like I am, I'm kind of on that hunt for some really discontinued gems. And as soon as we hear something's discontinued or it's going away, it's like, oh, we better get a bottle. So, and that's what's exciting about this fragrance journey anyway, is finding them, finding good deals, all that stuff. And I'm meeting so many great people, on Facebook and online. It's becoming so much fun in this game. So, but again, thanks for listening to me ramble all the time. Again, great unisex fragrance, I want to say. Again, it's geared towards women, but I believe it's unisex. It's got the masculinity of a nice masculine fragrance, but yet you get those beautiful florals that are just blended so well. And you've seen the list on my presentation, the list of ingredients. Who would have thought all those would work together? But it really does. It comes off great, and thank you guys so much again. And again, hopefully I did this one justice. Hopefully I can get some comments from people who have been wearing this for 15, 20 years, or who smelled it on someone that they know. I would love the feedback to see if I'm kind of, hitting it on the head with this one. So, but Armani, 1982, awesome. Thank you guys so much again for your support. I'm going to keep trying to do these reviews, trying to get used to this camera thing going on in front of it. Again, no editing, so I'm trying to do the best I can on a first take. So, Hope you guys are enjoying, and I'll talk to you soon.